All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for another community session. This time it's a bit tech-based, and we have Chandana here with us, who's our speaker for the day. Chandana is a software engineer at IBM. She's based in Bangalore, and she's a graduate of PES University. She is deeply passionate about coding and enjoys staying updated with the ever-evolving world of technology. And she's joining us to update us as well. So thank you so much, Chandana. Over to you.
Thank you, Arushi. Hi. Today I'll be walking through behind the scenes of most powerful systems and the most secure systems in the world. So that is about mainframes. Let me just share my screen. Yeah. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes. Maybe you want to align it to the center, but otherwise it's visible.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Is this fine?
It's still towards the right a little bit.
Okay. I see it as a full screen here right now.
I think for now, maybe we start.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today the topic is about mainframes. So I'm just going to give a high level detail about what is mainframe, why is it important, and what's the role of mainframe, as most of them wouldn't know what is a mainframe and what's the role of it. So just a second. Okay. So let's imagine a airport shutting down because of the 2-second IT failure, or let's say a bank loses money because of a one split second downtime in a system. So all of this sounds very scary. So that's what is very like it's a disastrous thing for any of the global technologies. So that's why mainframes exist. So yeah, what is a mainframe? So, mainframes are like high performance computers with large amounts of memory, and they process billions of simple calculations in a split second. So, it has the ability to process up to 1 trillion transactions every day with like maximum security and reliability. So every time you withdraw cash, or every time you do an online payment, or do any sort of like paying with a credit card, I'm sure it has touched a mainframe. So, in the world, around 45 of the top 50 banks, 4 of the top 5 airlines, 7 of the top 10 global retailers, and 67 of the Fortune 100 companies use mainframes. So let's understand why is mainframe used, and why are all of the top critical businesses and critical industries making use of mainframes. So these are the main features of a mainframe, and why is it so important for any of the critical industries to use mainframe. The first thing is it's reliable. So in case of mainframe, any transactions that go through every time, no matter how busy the system is, it has to go through. So in case of a transaction, in case of a bank transaction that you do, no matter how many people are using the same bank server, it has to go through. So it has to be reliable. And next is the availability. So it has to be up 24 bar 7. So even during any of the maintenance session that's going on, or any upgrade that's going on, it has to be up and available. And next is the serviceability. So no matter what's the upgrade that's given, or there's some repair that's given, so we cannot like stop any of the services that we have. So it has to be serviceable at all times. The next set of features are its security, its scalability, its performance optimization, and resiliency. So, security. So, mainframes are designed to deliver the highest level of security. So, in terms of it's not just an add on, security is not just an add on, it's a built in features. So, mainframe has a few cryptographic cards. which is built in the system, and it also uses AI and ML to predict a few cyber attacks and frauds. So in this case, when we see that most of the top banks use all of these things, so security is the main feature that's needed in terms of their day-to-day activities. So mainframe stands for enterprise level security. And next comes scalability. So whether you're processing 100 transactions a day or 1 million transactions per second, mainframe can scale effortlessly. So let's say there is a performance optimization. So it's not just in case of speed. So it has to be in case of resource management as well, where each of the CPUs that we have, each of the uh, battery backups that we have, each of the IOs that we have, all of them need backup. So in case of any of the disasters that happen, it has to be up within a second. So that is how mainframes are even resilient. So now that we have seen why we use mainframe and who uses mainframe, let's just get a deep knowledge about who uses mainframes and for what are they using mainframes. So first is the financial institutions. Like banks process millions of transactions every second. So let's say your credit card transactions or ATM withdrawals or loan approvals or online banking updates, all of these things are very critical and they really demand real-time processing, security, and no downtime. And that's exactly why all of the major financial institutions rely on mainframes. So in this case, it's for the speed, scale, and security, which is all the core principles of mainframes. Okay. So the next is in the healthcare and in the insurance agencies. So in case of healthcare, the data is very personal and sensitive, be it your medical records, your personal records, or billing data. So providers manage huge volumes of confidential information, which should be protected at all costs. So in the case of healthcare organization, all of this data is very confidential, and hence security is their primary need. So mainframe takes care of that as well. So next is the government agencies. So government agencies manage the most sensitive data, and it's the vital data in the world for a particular country in terms of the criminal database that we have or the citizen records that we have. So this play a very important role in their national security. So in this case, it's very important for the law enforcement to maintain their security even under any type of pressure or any type of conflicts that they have. So in this case, it is very important that we take care of all of the security breaches that can happen, and we can prevent all of the cyber security frauds that can happen in such times. Next is the retail. So online retails provide, or what can I say? I can say like they need a large processing power. So let's say there's a flash sale, let's say there's a Black Friday sale, and suddenly there's a huge demand, and there are a multiple like thousands of customers wanting to order something, do a payment, and all of these things. So in such case, mainframes are very effective in scaling and making everything possible without any downtime or without any slowdowns or crashes. So this is all about who actually uses mainframes and why do they use mainframe. So now I'll just give a brief idea about IBM Z. So IBM Z is a modern mainframe. So it handles world's most critical businesses. So it has a family of infrastructure where it delivers advanced security, resilience, and performance, scalability, and sustainability. So in case of IBM C, it has unmatched reliability and availability in the world of mainframes, and it has massive scalability, parallel processing, and hybrid cloud readiness. So we see that now that cloud has been the new landscape of data, there is a need for us where we need hybrid cloud management. So that's the reason IBM Z is ready for hybrid cloud management as well. Okay. So currently, IBM Z17 is the latest machine, and it's the series of mainframe innovations. It brings the power of advanced security, high availability, and unmatched scalability. So currently, IBM Z17 is processing around 450 billion transactions every second, and it has a downtime of around 315 milliseconds. So that leads to around 99.999, as you see, percentage of availability. So in such case, currently the C systems are more productive, more resilient, more secure, and more precise than ever. So let's go further and talk about IBM ZOS. So as we've seen about the mainframe, at the heart of the mainframe is IBM ZOS. So IBM ZOS has high performance and it unlocks IBM Z's full power. So currently IBM ZOS is the highly secure and scalable OS that runs very critical applications of global businesses. And it is AI infused, it has cyber resiliency, it has seamless application modernization, whereas currently it's not just the green screen that you see that is the terminal for a ZOS, but currently we have very modern application interfaces that is being used, and we also have the multi-cloud integration. Okay, so this is about the main features about ZOS. And so let's just move on to the current trend, or what do I say, current landscape of data, where cloud is a very important storage because it offers multi-cloud capability where enterprises can use multi-platforms to run their different workloads. So cloud storage introduces new dimensions to the data landscape. So previously, it's just the disk and the tape which has to be attached to the ZOS. But now, with the availability of cloud storage, we can make use of TCP and IP connections and access the cloud data. So, according to a research by Nasuni, there is now over 1 exabyte of data stored in the cloud. So, that's around 1 billion GBs. So that is like immense amount of data that's being stored in the cloud. And let's just understand, why is cloud object storage important? Okay, so in case of analytics, like in case of big data and ML readiness, object storage plays a very important role because there's a large amount of data which is both unstructured and structured data that's required for us in terms of analytics that's required. And in case of ML, there's a lot of training data that needs to be stored, and all of these can be available in different types of cloud machines. So that's the reason cloud object storage plays an important role. And also in case of archiving, so it's very ideal for long time archiving where any inactive data that is required can be stored securely. And it's also very helpful for backups and any disaster recovery that's required. So in case of any of the backups that required, it's highly durable storage and it's even cost effective. So it can easily there's a seamless way of integrating to any types of cloud. So these are the main requirements of why any cloud storage is important. So as you can see, cloud storage isn't just for backups. It holds everything from simple customer records to complex AI training data. So in this case, it can be your box. So that is nothing but similar to your Google Drive files, your JSON data, your MongoDB data, any type of image data, and any type of table data. So this includes both unstructured and structured data. Now that we understand the different types of data that's stored from structured to unstructured, it's become very clear that we need a secure and efficient way to transfer data from the mainframe to the cloud as well. So that's where the ZOS cloud data access comes into picture. So ZOS Cloud Data Access gives easier and simpler API access to objects where you can just use API access to authenticate and communicate to the cloud. So here are some of the APIs that we have listed. So we have a few IO APIs. So IO APIs are mainly for the data transferring that we have. So GDK get and GDK write is the API. And we also have a few APIs such as GDK delete, which is to delete a few objects that we have. List is to list the objects. And GDK gen is nothing but to perform any of the operations that we have. So these are the IO APIs that we have. And here are the non-IO APIs. So these APIs provide additional capability where, for example, let me take GDK init. So in this case, I can start a particular cloud session and do multiple activities where I can do data transfers multiple times and then terminate using GDK term. So these are the additional APIs that are available in CDA. And towards the right, these are some of the credential APIs. So in case of different cloud providers, they manage different types of credentials. So there has to be an easier way where we can manage credentials of different cloud providers. So that's where these APIs come in handy. Okay. So moving data from mainframe to cloud is not just about speed. So it's about complex communication that we have and also the authentication. So CDA handles all of these painful, tedious, and time-consuming activity of authenticating with your cloud. CDA also has an interface which gives easy access to add your credentials to the particular cloud. Okay, so CDA also has an additional support, so which is the signed payload support. So in case of signed payload support, we also make sure that whatever data we are sending to the cloud doesn't have any man in the middle attack. So let's say that I have sent a file, and how do I verify that the file that I've sent is the exact thing that went to the cloud? So this plays an important role in case of a few banks and companies where they want to have a safe way to make sure that the data that we've sent is gone to the cloud. So that's when the CDA signed payload support comes into help. And one of the other smart features of CDA is the ability to compress the data and sending it to the cloud, and also decompress the data upon retrieval to the mainframe. So this really helps the organization not only to effectively transfer the data, but also reduce the cloud storage costs, especially while storing backups across different cloud providers such as IBM Cloud, Azure, or AWS. So we also have another utility called GDK util. So this is very helpful in terms of scripting languages. So we do not have to use any APIs to access all of the data. We just have two commands. We have a few commands. So in this case, you can see that there's a download command. So we can use the download command to download any of the cloud storage object to our mainframe machine, and even the vice versa. So this is really helpful in terms of the scripting language. So this is a language called JCL, Job Control Language, which can directly access the CDA APIs. So currently, we can support all of these cloud providers mentioned here: Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, Oracle, Amazon S3, and Azure. So as I've talked about, there are various authentication methods, and each of the cloud providers has its own way of authenticating to a particular cloud. So CDA currently handles all of these authentication methods, and we can connect to any of these cloud providers which support all of these authentication methods very effortlessly and seamlessly. So currently, CDA supports the APIs to be called in these languages: C, COBOL, Assembler, and PLX. PLX is an IBM internal language. So if you're interested in exploring CDA further and to know about any of the supported platforms that we additionally support and how to implement it and any of the resources that you wish to dive into, these are the two links that I've attached here. So you can know about all of the interesting features that CDA supports in these links. Yeah, this is all I had. Thank you all for your time and attention. I'm open to any questions if any of you have.
Thank you so much, Chandana. Yes, we're open to any questions. If Chandana is okay, can we share this PPT with the
Yes.
community later on? Okay, so we will
Yeah.
share it on our WhatsApp.
Sure.
All right. I've got a few personal messages saying that the session was relatively easier to follow, considering some people are not so tech savvy, but they were very easy to follow. So that's
Okay.
that. I don't know if we have any questions. All right, 1 second. We do have a question.
Yes.
What are the major security concerns when integrating mainframes with cloud?
Okay, so the major problem there is in connecting the mainframe to the cloud is in terms of authentication, as I mentioned. And as you mean, what do you actually mean by security concerns? I just wanted to know that. Okay, so in terms of security concerns, there are a lot of banks and lot of institutions which want to integrate their data from the mainframe to the cloud. So mainly it involves some of the backup data or when there is some archiving needed for the data. So in these terms, the major security issues that they face is some of the man-in-the-middle attacks that can happen where the data can be corrupted. So in our case, we use the SAFE protocol and also support the signed payload support. So which ensures that all of these security concerns are taken care of.
I hope that answers your question. Yes, it does. Anyone else? And also, while we're taking questions, if everyone can just turn on their camera actually, and we can take a quick picture. All right, I'll assume the rest cannot, and that's fine. I'll just say 1, 2, 3, cheese. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, yes, please continue with your questions. There we go. I have a feeling we don't have too many this time. Well, would you like me to share your LinkedIn in the chat, Chandana? So in case they do have
Yes,
questions later on, they can reach out to you.
sure. Yes.
But all right, okay, I will do that. And for the folks who want access to the PPT, I will send the WhatsApp chat so that we can share the PPT there. Again, thank you so much, Chandana.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining. And you can reach out to me on LinkedIn if there are any queries.
Any
We can
questions?
connect.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Chandra. And we will share
Thank
the
you.
recording on the WhatsApp group as well.
Yes.
It'll be on our YouTube as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.